hey, how many zombie teenagers, that is, does it take to grease a combine? Only 27 if you run them through real slow. Yes, Boy Eats Girl. This is your run-of-the-mill zombie movie. Uh, the storyline's been used before. When I say used before, I mean it's probably the oldest storyline in the history of in the history of all the silver screen world. Uh, the official summary is: resurrected by his mother after a tragic accident, 17-year-old Nathan awakens with the taste for human flesh. Next thing you know, a run-in with a school bully sets off events that spread Nathan's condition all over town. Now, this movie is average in all ways. Average acting, average character setup, average actors. Uh, it's average, middle of the road kind of stuff. And, well, it's not as bad as Jason Goes to Hell or Stupid Teenagers Must Die. It is one of those movies that I could do without watching again. Uh, there's no things that I would rather do than watch this movie again, so sorry. It was about as long as Stupid Teenagers Must Die, about 80 minutes. But for what it's worth, it was an 80 minutes well spent. Uh, Gore, a lot of gore, a lot of blood and gore, a lot of blood and guts, especially with the combine, the tractor, and the spinning blades, and people being chopped up into little itty bits. Yummy. Anyway, uh, there was no sex, there was no nudity. Uh, it was, the zombies were taken from 28 Days Later and Shaun of the Dead. In that 28 Days Later, they're as fast as those things. They're just regular human beings that have developed a taste for human flesh and have no use for tools and speech and other things that make humans humans. Uh, Character depth, they got pretty deep into the whole character background. I could actually relate to the main character a lot, because he had a crush on his best friend, but he was too scared to say anything about it. Except it ended with him and her getting together, and my life story is not so much. Uh, Special effects were standard. Standard. Like I said, everything about this was average. You could see stuff coming from a mile away. The storyline was too predictable. Uh, but the way to cure this zombieism was something of an oddity. Turns out that the bite of a snake, a certain kind of snake, would cure the zombieism. So, and how this whole zombie thing was contracted was, this kid, Nathan, uh, got resurrected by his mother. Yeah, and and the whole resurrection sequence, it was told in a 5-second flash of images of his mother performing a ritual. The scene before that was she walked in on him hanging himself, and then as she screamed, throughout the entire scream was the flashes of the images as she resurrected him as a zombie, and then 5 seconds later he woke up the next morning, no memory of what happened. So that was kind of rushed. I didn't like that at all. Uh, so it starts to spread by him biting one of the school bullies. They overused the jump up from behind the desk scare. They used that about 5 times, and I started seeing it coming from a mile away. Uh, it was made in Ireland. All the actors were Irish. So if you like Ireland and the Irish, you might like this movie. Uh, what was I going to say next? Let's see. The ending, yeah, ending was kind of mushy. The actors were pretty good. Uh, mostly, yeah, they were mostly pretty good. Uh, let's see, I covered character depth, story quality, sex nudity, death scenes. Death scenes. Uh, not very creative. Not creative at all. I mean, a nail through the head, a tent spike through the temple. Uh, oh, and unrealisticness. Let me just put this out there. Diesel fuel does not burn with an open flame. Okay? You put an open flame near diesel fuel, it does not ignite. It does not ignite. Try that. You know what? Try that. Get a little bit of diesel fuel, light a match, drop it on there. It's going to go out. Mythbusters said it. They say don't try it at home, but get a little pail full of diesel fuel, light a cigarette, drop the cigarette in. It's going to go out like it was dropped in water. Okay? I know that for a fact. So, points off movie for unrealisticness. Points off. All in all, I give this movie a bing! 3 pills. 3 pills for Boy Eats Girl. Uh, you might want to check it out if you want to. It's tolerable. It's it's not even worth a good laugh. There was no humor in it whatsoever. That I was sort of let down in that area. There was no humor. So if you want to check it out, check it out. Uh, I wouldn't advise seeing it with squeamish people, because around the end it gets pretty gory, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre gory. But it's so ridiculous that it's like the person running the combine that tears up all these zombies is just she's a 17-year-old girl and she's slaughtering people like she's Rambo. She doesn't seem affected by it. And I just found that very unrealistic and disappointing. So, that's my review for Boy Eats Girl. Not as interesting as Stupid Teenagers Must Die, given, but I didn't have much bad stuff to say about this. So, I will see you all later, folks. I'm FragPenguin, the Bipolar King of Comedy. Goodbye.